Um, I am on here because there is something really strong in my heart that I want to share. If you see the title of the live, it's called Know Who You Are. And I need to encourage some people that before the new year comes in, spend some time with the Lord and ask him who you are so you can know who you are. Why do you need to know who you are? Because there have been some relationships in your life that have tried to take you out. I know that because there have been some relationships in my life that tried to take me out. And what do I mean by that? When you don't know who you are, you enter relationships and you let the relationship define you. And if you're not being treated well in the relationship, you start to question your sanity, you start to question everything about yourself, and you end up lost and confused. And you put all your faith in everything for that relationship working out. And for those of you who don't know, I am divorced. I've been divorced now since 2021. And so it's been a few years. But what I can say about my experience is when I got married, I didn't know who I was. And I looked to the marriage to fulfill me. I looked to my mate to fulfill me. And none of that worked out because I didn't know who I was. The Lord has called me to the office of a prophet. And being that doesn't mean that I walk around telling people their futures. It's not like being a soothsayer or anything like that. It just means that God gives me insight. And it starts from a young age. Most people have the ability to know things, discern things from an early age. And the enemy knows that about your life. He knows what gifts you have, and the goal is to stop you from operating in those gifts fully. And that happened to me. It happened so quickly, so many times, and I have to shine a light on it before you go into your new year. One of the ways that I was stifled and stopped was in relationships. And that comes in the form of somebody who will gaslight you. And gaslighting is just when somebody tries to make you feel like you don't remember a situation the way it happened. When you know you remember it the way it happened, and they are telling you it didn't happen like that. That's a problem. That's a red flag in relationships. It's a red flag in friendships. If you remember something and somebody tells you that you don't remember it, that's not okay. Never, ever is that okay. Another way that it happens is somebody putting you down. That's never okay in relationships. It's not okay in friendships. It's not okay in marriages. It's never okay for somebody to talk down to you, make you feel little. And one of the other things that happened to me a lot is for somebody to make you feel like first of all, I said to hurt you continually. That's the other thing. If somebody does something to hurt you and you express to them that whatever they did hurt you, and their response to it is to make a brief change for a couple of weeks, and then to treat you like it never happened and that it should be water under the bridge until the next time they do it again, that is not okay. Why am I specifying these particular things? Because they play with your mind. The goal is to play with your mind. The goal is to make you feel mentally unstable. The goal is to have you chasing the high of the beginning of the relationship, the beginning of the friendship. You are always going to want it to be like it was. And that's going to keep you hoping. And that hope can be addictive. I remember my mom saying that some people are addicted to hope. I just want to encourage you today. Hope is not a bad thing. But if you don't see evidence, consistent evidence of change, if you don't see somebody who is making an effort to hear you, to address what you're bringing to them, and to maintain that over a significant amount of time, then it's not real. It's not real. It's not going to last. They're going to go right back and do exactly what they did to hurt you from the beginning. And you're going to be upset at yourself because you're going to say, I thought I explained that to you. I thought I told you how I felt about that. I thought I was clear about how that made me feel. You were. You were clear. There was no confusion. The person is allowing you, is molding you and shaping you into what he or she wants you to be. And that is going to be what causes you to change, to not be who God called you to be, to not walk in your calling, your gifting, to be behind in life. Some of you are supposed to be so much further. You're supposed to be so much further. You're supposed to have done so much more, but you keep trying to hang on to this dead relationship, this dead weight situation. It's not going to change. I'm trying to tell you what I know from experience. It's not going to change. So you have to be the one to change. And by you changing, that means that you stop allowing the same thing to happen to you. The version of you that the person is experiencing right now is not the true you. The true you is the independent version of you. The you that made decisions before this person came into your life. The you who knew what goals you wanted to accomplish. That's who you are. You're not this weak person who lets people continually walk over you and make you feel little and make you feel low and like you're not going to grow in life. That's not you. That's who this person has created you to be. And so you're sticking and you're staying and you're hoping and you're believing and you're praying and you're fasting and nothing is changing because it's not going to change. I'm not trying to tell you that God isn't powerful, but the power that he's giving you is in you. You have to do it. You have to be the change. Will your life change if you decide to leave a friendship that you've had for 30 years? Yes, it will. Will your life change if you walk away from a manipulative, toxic marriage that you've been in for a long time? Yes, it will. It's a scary thing. I walked through it, so I know that it's going to happen. But the version of you right now that's suffering in this situation and hoping and believing that it's going to change, you're dying. You're dying daily. You're hoping. You keep on trying to present this image and this facade that it's okay, that your marriage is happy, that your friendships are happy, and people know the real truth. They just don't want to tell you. They're going to wait until you make a decision to leave it, and then they're going to do just what people do, and this is no shade to anybody, but they're going to come to you and say, I knew that it was hard. I heard this, I heard that. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to approach you about it. I didn't want to get in your business. I didn't want to do this or do that. It's going to be late then, but you have to still make the change because it's within you to do it. Nobody is going to save you. You have to do it. Stop being a victim. Stop being a victim. This is harsh, but it's necessary. You are not a victim anymore. You have to stand in your truth. You have to be willing to make the hard changes. And if you know somebody that this can help and it's not for you specifically, share it with them. Because it's time for people to stop trying to hold on to stuff that's holding them back and holding them down. And they don't want to look bad. They don't want to be embarrassed. You're already embarrassed. You're already embarrassed. You're embarrassed every day in your home when the person that you're in a relationship with goes out and does significant, important things for other people, but doesn't do anything for you inside the home. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing inside. You know the truth. You know that that's not who that person really is. You've been covering for them. You've been making them look good. You've been holding up your end of the bargain while they continuously do things behind your back to embarrass you. It's time to let it go. It's time. You can do it, and you probably should do it. I'm not advocating for divorces because some people might feel like I am. I'm not advocating for anything that God wouldn't want. But I also know that your allegiance has to be to him first and foremost. Your allegiance, your dedication has to be to him first and foremost. And you may have been told so many times, God hates divorce. He hates a lot of things. He hates lying. He hates unjust scales. He hates haughty looks. He hates proud looks. So we focus on things because we try to scare people into staying in situations. But don't let people scare you to staying where you know you shouldn't be, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a parent and a child relationship, whether it's a marriage. Do what you know you need to do and do it before you die, because tomorrow is not promised. I love y'all. Again, like I said, I'm not trying to be an influencer. It's not that big of a deal to me, but I do want to help people because I know what I've experienced, and I don't want anybody to be, I don't want to be held accountable for not telling people what they need to know so they can be healthy and